Set live. We are a little short in the cuff tonight. Mr. Bushido is health reasons. Can't make it, not feeling good. And Fabio, congratulations, Fabio. Fabio is now officially a chemist. He defended his paper a few days ago and they accepted it. So big congrats to him starting his career, and he's got family in visiting right now. Probably part of that congratulatory family services that we're all aware of. And hey, family first, guys. So he's spending time with the family. That's cool. Power Man 4K. He got a little rowdy. I had to kick him off the podcast. He is no longer no, seriously. Power Man had to leave the podcast for some family reasons. You know, I preach it, family first. Gaming is a passion, is a hobby. So I totally understand. I'm all right with it. Show must go on. So tonight, being short in the cuff, you get me and Ultimus. That's right. So Ultimus, how you been, brother? What you been playing?
I've been good, One, ladies and gentlemen, we got the original duo here, the original two that kind of got this going a long time ago, which is amazing. It's been doing good, lots of games playing, uh, Mass Effect and all that. I got really back into Mass Effect, the Legendary Edition, and I've been just grinding that so much because I need to fill up my backlog. We got 2023 coming. I can't have a long backlog anymore. I got to burn through it. So just getting it done.
Everybody's got a long backlog. Shout out to Intense in the chat. Intense. I hope Intense.
Intex, Intex, something like that.
Intense. Thember, the number one fan. That's right. Thember here every week. So, what have you been playing?
Yeah, so as I said, got the Mass Effect going on, High on Life. That's been the game everyone's been talking about. It's been really funny. Good playthrough with that. Some Death Stranding. After that announcement, gotta jump in and actually play that game. Had never played it, and got my PC right here, so jumping into that as well. Lots of things to play. Lots of things I've been doing. Staying busy.
I have getting ready for the January release of Age of Empires 2, the definitive edition on Xbox. Other than content creation and podcasting, my PC is primarily used for real-time strategy games. I feel like real-time strategy games are meant to be on a keyboard with the hotkeys and meant to be ran with a mouse. So that's what I do. And so I've been
Yep.
playing Age of Empires 2 Definitive Edition because I kind of skipped over 2. I cut my teeth with 1, and then I guess I played 1 for so long, I kind of skipped over 2. And then when 3 came out, it was all about the colonials and the Indians and the British, and it was all about the Americas. And I kind of got into that. And of course, I'm into 4. 4 is amazing. But I hadn't really played 2, so I went back to play 2s to kind of. And 2 is massive. So 2 circle, it kind of centers around everything on the African continent, and you can play from any different what's the word I'm looking for? Like you can play as this tribe, but then you can go and you can look at it from the other tribe's perspective.
Oh, I see what you
And
mean.
there are many campaigns that just kind of flip flop back and forth, and
I enjoyed that.
I'm enjoying it. But man, for some reason, Age of Empires 2, I'm finding it very difficult. Anybody in the chat, if you've played it, for some strange reason, I find that a mission on Age of Empires 2 takes me over an hour to finish, sometimes many hours, just setting things up and building up my army. And man, the other Age of Empires, I don't remember them taking that long, but I mean, I'm enjoying it. Um, Other than that, yeah, I've just been focusing a lot on Age of Empires. I've got a new video card in my PC, so I've just kind of been running a lot of, running a lot of games on my PC, kind of running it through its paces and whatnot.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah. Other than that, just enjoying life. And in the Midwest here, we're getting hit by. I didn't know that they named winter storms. Apparently, this is a really bad storm coming through the Midwest right now, and they have named it Elliot.
Great.
Yeah, it's supposed to be really bad tonight. They're talking several inches of snow over the night, and then 0 degrees in the morning with wind chills of -20 to -30.
Well, stay toasty over there because it sounds like you're gonna have a long week.
Yeah,
You
I've
know.
already went and picked up gas for the generators in case they go out. Me, the wife, and kids will be fine, but we've got some reptiles in the house that need to be
Okay.
kept warm. Otherwise, I'd have just got like a kerosene heater or something. But I've got the heating pads and the lights and stuff that I have to keep going for the bearded dragons that my kids have. Otherwise, they'll die.
You gotta understand that. I can understand that. Not a big reptile guy, but I've had had other members of my
Yeah, I
family
never
that
have
have things
been
like
either,
that.
but they're kind of neat.
Hey, pet's a pet. You know what I'm saying?
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Well, good for you on the snow. Out here in AZ, we get dirt, and that's about it.
Thumber saying I had never seen snow in my life. Oh, come on, you've seen it in movies. That fake snow. It's no different. It's just worse to drive in.
Just a little worse.
Yeah. So
All right.
enough rambling. Let's get into the topics. So yes, we're going to talk about the Activision Blizzard thing. Apparently, there is Xbox news out of Korea.
Yep.
The Xbox they've started really voicing their opinion, and they kind of been playing nice guy and just saying that we will put Call of Duty on PlayStation. We're not even looking at making that exclusive. They've
So,
done that until they're blue in the face, and now the lawsuit and everything, and they've actually come out and they've already started saying that
the
they're giving
Final Fantasy
statements.
remake and all that
Yeah,
stuff.
they're giving statements now about just how Sony is doing what
They're basically
the
saying Microsoft's going to do, making games exclusive, keeping it off their
right.
platform,
Mm-hmm.
and they're not practicing what they're preaching, and and people internally in Microsoft and fans on the outside, so a lot are very irritated because they're trying so hard to work with these people, and they're being they're being nice, and and no one's budging, and everyone's coming at them, and then we just saw the CMA ran that poll in the UK where we had 75% of the majority said they wanted the deal to go through. They made some good arguments, they ran over some things, like they were legitimately discussing it. So, and the CMA's kind of changed their mind on that a little bit. So we're just seeing this deal is not bad at all. As we've been saying before and again and again and again, this deal is good for gamers and it's good for competition, it's good for the industry. As we've been saying, and we'll keep saying
Yep.
until the deal's over, until the deal's completed. I saw a side article where they said if somehow, some way, I was hearing, can't really confirm the information was that great or not. My source says it is, but on the article said that if this deal somehow, some way fails, Microsoft is going to make Call of Duty exclusive. They are going to get a deal, third-party deal, and they're going to make it exclusive as a result. Now that article was a little touchy. I can't confirm if that information's true, but that's what I was hearing. But at the same time, it's just irritating for the fans and the industry itself. This whole situation is just irritating.
And Xbox might have a little bit of leverage to do that because everybody seems to be forgetting that this is what Activision and Blizzard want. They want to be acquired. They have a toxic culture there, and they said the first thing that they're going to do is they're going to boot the CEO that has pretty much had some very questionable ethical things going on there. And so as a whole, Activision Blizzard, they want this. And so if it's, the big stink being thrown about Call of Duty possibly being exclusive on Xbox, they just might say, you know what, you just ruined our hopes of getting acquired by Microsoft, and actually Microsoft ushering in a better culture for us and a
Yeah.
better work environment. So yeah,
And you
what you
can't
didn't want to
imagine.
happen because of the
Go ahead.
acquisition, we're going to make it happen by signing an exclusivity deal.
Yes, and imagine I can't imagine what the shareholders in that situation are feeling. They're looking at, like, I think $20 over the current stock price per share, and if this gets stopped, that all that money of them is lost. Not like I'm defending the shareholders in that way, but you could think that if this fails, those people aren't going to forget that. They're not going to forget what happened, so they may just end up doing, a third party deal there. I mean, PlayStation's done it. Because at that point, you basically PlayStation's kind of burning bridges here. They're attacking everybody in the industry, and they're saying all these things legally, and it's just not helping their image at all. It's not helping their case. And with the CMA might be having a change of heart with all these, the citizens in the UK. They're just digging themselves deeper and deeper and deeper into the hole.
And shout out to Thimber in the chat. He keeps going on and on and on about High on Life.
And
So
don't worry, Thimber. We're gonna get to that. All right, buddy. Don't worry.
here you go, Thimber. Here's some High on Life.
Perfect.
Starting out with some guy that puts a can on his weenie. That's right.
Remember, they said it in the video. They definitely didn't have an E for everyone rating on this game.
No.
Very funny though. Moving forward,
if Fabio, I wish Fabio was here because I kind of heard that Conker is not dead. Conker is getting some buzz and Banjo's not. And I just wanted to rub that in his face, but he's not here, so I can't do it. I'll do it next week.
Yeah, we'll get everybody back together soon. We got to get through the holidays, really close to Christmas, and everyone's working really hard, and everybody, everyone's doing extra hours. I just got my vacation approved, so
nice.
So I get to relax this week, and I just got to get through a long shift tomorrow, and then I get to relax, be with my family, and just enjoy the holidays. It's a great time. Anyway, back to the topic. Just because we've just been saying it, and we just gonna have to finish it off and make the point. Activision deal is good for gamers. It's good for the industry. It's great for competition. And my confidence is still where it's been since day one. I think it's going to go through. I think we're going to get it done. There's just going to be roadblocks. And that's all I have left to say. That's all I have left to say.
So the statement that Xbox made to the Korean journalist, they said that they told the CMA verbatim, their statement says, exclusivity strategies are not uncommon in the games industry, and other market participants have access to their own content. Both Sony's and Nintendo's exclusive first-party games rank among the best-selling in Europe and worldwide. Current Sony exclusive content includes prominent first-party titles such as The Last of Us, Ghost of Tsushima, God of War, and Spider-Man. In addition to having outright exclusive content, Sony has also entered into agreements with third-party publishers which require the exclusion of Xbox from the set of platforms these publishers can distribute their games on. Some prominent examples of these exclusion agreements include Final Fantasy VII Remake, Bloodborne, the upcoming Final Fantasy 16, and the recently announced Silent Hill 2 Remastered. Now this is Square Enix, From Software, and Bloober Team, which, other than Square Enix, the other two, Xbox has done a lot of business and had a lot of dealings with these developers. and to sign an exclusion deal. Uh, well, we know where Sony's money's going.
Yeah, I think the Bloober team one actually caught me by surprise a little bit. How they had just put out the medium with Xbox, and then we hear, oh, they're working on this new project Silent Hill, and that's not coming to Xbox at all. That they signed that deal. Again, they're basically Sony's coming in and saying Xbox is going to make Call of Duty exclusive and going to take everything away from gamers, and then that's all Sony's ever been. It's all Sony's doing right now. They're keeping things off other platforms. Well, Microsoft is standing there saying, no, we want to bring these games to other platforms. We're going to guarantee it for at least the next decade. And Sony's just constantly combating them and not even considering their deal in any way, shape, or form. So it's just
they're saying that just because it may draw people to the Xbox platform if they own that, and there may be content, and it may go into Game Pass so that you can play the campaigns free, and so it may kind of coerce some people to cross that aisle. And we're not saying they're going to sell their PlayStation for their Xbox. I mean, no. I love the games that I have on my PlayStation. I love them. I mean, let's face it, Sony does some of the best first-party games out there. Their storytelling is bar none. But it's just
yeah, there's nothing like it. The Last of Us is one of my most favorite series, except the sequel. And God of War got a deep love there, and I got again Death Stranding, playing it right now, actually loving that too. They have a great storytelling. It's not, but that was another thing that they were talking about, how Sony has all this built up history, and their games just overshadow Microsoft's games by a lot, and that's true. Maybe not Halo, but a lot of everything else. They already have that built, all that built up, and so now. And so when Xbox is trying to compete and they're trying to block it, that was actually some of the points I read in some of the CMA, points and those UK emails. It was that, and another thing they were talking about that was actually a benefit to all gamers was if Call of Duty and all those games were coming to Game Pass, because especially with the world and the markets right now, it's actually nice that people can just go on there, pay $15 a month, and have access to all those games. It's better for the industry. It's better for a lot of people. And because games are getting expensive, and games can continue to get more expensive as we go on, and deluxe edition games are already $100 to $120 right now if you really wanted the deluxe edition. So it's going to continue to get more and more expensive, and Game Pass just helps a lot of people.
It does, and I tell you what, I like what Microsoft did a couple years ago with Forza Horizon 5. How they gave you could play the standard version on Game Pass, but then I think it was it $20 or $30 would get you the big premium version.
Yeah, so I think it was 30 at launch.
Yeah, that's a great idea. You're right. Game Pass saves lives. It does.
Oh, it's helping High on Life right now. I was reading another thing. High on Life, if we want to switch into that, was like having it on Game Pass day one is actually going to allow the developer to continue to make more projects and move forward in their development in the industry, and that it's actually been a great partnership and very beneficial to them. And we're already looking at it. It's been a very popular game, and it's selling very well outside of Game Pass. We're seeing the Steam numbers have been very high. It reached number 1 on Xbox as most played games for, I think, this last week.
I've seen amazing. A lot of rumbling on Twitter too from many individuals saying that if Xbox is smart,
they'll
lock this they will lock this developer down or lock this franchise down.
Because one thing I'm going to say about this game, it has been hilarious. The graphics are actually pretty good too, but it has been hilarious. The beginning is just amazingly funny. It's just everything about it's great.
During the show tonight, if anybody hears my dogs in the background, it's because they're outside attacking snowflakes. I think it's the first time they've seen snow. So,
yeah,
I apologize for that ahead of time.
Everyone
But
loves
yeah,
dog.
High on Life is the biggest third party launch on Xbox Game Pass ever. Confirms Microsoft. It's also the biggest Game Pass launch of 2022 overall. It's huge.
You
And
know,
I
I go ahead.
it kind of makes me want to go and watch Rick and Morty. It really
It
does.
it does. So I was going through season 6 today. I was watching some of that this afternoon because you know, my day offs are very weird. I get some during the week, get some on the weekend. You know, don't need to go into it, but yeah. So when I do, I get my I take my chance. And you know, I was watching some of it today, and that was funny. And listening to the the guns talking to you with those same voices from the show,
Yeah.
it really makes you want to go do that. And there's a lot of Rick and Morty fans out there that would really love the idea of this kind of game from the creators. So
Yes. Denver, yes. There was some hard drugs in the beginning of High on Life.
yeah,
But in a positive note, the character that you play, he said no to drugs. And that's what I want
he did.
everybody out there to do is say no
Yeah.
to drugs. Drugs are
Yes,
bad.
yes. This we tell everyone it is the message of life.
That's right.
Anyway, yeah, that beginning again. This game is not for your kids. Don't let them play it. Um, but for adults, this is a fun ride, and it's so funny. And some people are like, oh, the gameplay's kind of bland. I'm like, well, isn't that kind of on purpose to be stupid and kind of a little weird? And yeah, it is, and it's fun. And I mean, there's just secret things that you can do. Like you can have a second boss fight where the boss doesn't even fight back, and all kinds of secret stuff I found. So right after the first boss fight, so it's just so much fun. Great game.
And on another note, um, if you're new to the channel, tell a buddy or two, subscribe to the small channel. We do a show a week, so I promise you we will not clog your timeline yet.
And there's usually more people. There's not these two,
I have
these two
aspirations.
crazy guys. We got 3 or 4 crazy guys usually.
Yeah, we got 4 crazy guys. On to the next topic though. So speaking of Kojima, which I've always thought Kojima is he's a pretty quirky, weird slash. I guess I can see where he's cool in some light. Um, he has come out and said a little bit about the project that they're working on with Microsoft. And he says that the project we're working on with Microsoft is one that I have been thinking about for 5 or 6 years already. It was ultimately Microsoft who showed that they understood my vision. Now we're working together on the project, including the technology front. So we're not just talking about an idea for a game. It sounds like they're talking about I don't know if the technology is going to be peripheral. Is it going to be a point of view? Is it going to be the way you interact with the game? But I mean, we've all seen what Kojima has done in the past, and I mean, I will be the first to tell you that I was one of the ones that until I played it, I bashed on Death Stranding pretty hard. I was like, he ripped this idea off from, if anybody out there remembers the movie with Kevin Costner in it called The Postman. I was like, he ripped this off. It's a post-apocalyptic world, and you got this guy, he just starts delivering packages to keep the lines of communication. I was like, he ripped this. And then I played the game, and I'm like, wow, this is really original, and it has absolutely nothing to do. I can't compare this to The Postman whatsoever.
Yeah.
Yeah, but Kojima has always got that, like Death Stranding. It took some people, it took them off guard, and until they played the game, they didn't really understand the game, and I was one of them. And now that I've played the game, I kind of understand it a lot more. I'm actually a little invested in the story. I haven't picked it up in a while because I'm playing it on my PC. I do have it on my PlayStation, but it looks better on my PC than it does on my PlayStation. So. But yeah, it piques my interest to see, because when he goes and says that he's had this idea for 5 or 6 years and Microsoft jumped on it, and now he's talking about the working together on the project, including the technology front. No idea what that means. The technology front.
Yeah.
Is
You
he
know,
going to
there's
actually take full advantage of the Series X? That's what I want him to do. That's what I want all the developers to do. Take advantage of that hardware. Oh,
yeah. You
killing
know,
me.
I was reading into the Kojima thing this morning. A couple of my guys I know, smaller guys, they send me information all the time, and I was reading into it, and he was saying how he pitched this game to a lot of partners, and a lot of them called him mad and crazy and didn't like his idea like much at all. But when Microsoft heard it, they actually like really thought about it, and they really understood what he was trying to do, and they were in. They were like, okay, we're in, let's do it. And other developers didn't have the same idea. Kojima is one of those people that I think will change the industry in many ways. And he says this game might be or is going to be a new medium for the industry, a new way, a new type of storytelling. And I'm really excited to see that in these next few years when we hear more about it and eventually play it. Not a
Yeah.
lot of information. I don't think we know the name yet at all either, but you know, but I think it's going to be great. Kojima. I had that same feeling about Death Stranding, as you said, walking simulator and all that. But when you play it, you actually, it's definitely more. It's definitely more than it seems on the surface. Way more. Very good.
But I think what really did it to that game is, so a lot of people really, when you see a lot of gameplay, people skip over the story scenes. And so all you do see is Sam Bridges carrying a bunch of packages on his back, on his legs, and whatnot, climbing ladders with his packages and delivering his packages. So yeah, I can see how that gave you that
Yeah,
sense.
yeah, that
But
was
when
the
you
public
play
perception.
it and you're introduced to these epic movie scenes at every turning point of the game, it's an eye opener. It's like, wow, this is not what I expected.
There's a lot of emotion in it,
There
and
is.
and the main character. I know the actor. I know his name. I can't remember it. uh, I have it on the tip of my tongue, but anyway, like his performance was amazing. The acting was great. The story has been very interesting. Like I haven't seen anything like that. And yes, there are some boring parts. Those first few chapters are hard because it is a lot of fetching. It is a lot of. You're definitely playing UPS simulator for the first few minutes, but as you keep getting deeper, then it gets. It gets really deep and
It
really
gets
emotional.
crazy.
And, yeah, and it gets crazy. And so yeah,
And,
on the surface in the beginning, it is hard to get used to at first, but after that, you're invested and you just won't stop until it's over.
and his name, I'm sorry, but the first time anybody ever seen him was in Walking Dead. And so whenever I see him, and so if somebody was like, "Hey, look at this," I'm like, "Oh, that's Daryl."
Yeah, I
I
always think
can't
Daryl
I can't
too.
help it. It's Daryl. I can't.
Well, yeah,
It's Daryl.
when I see Yondu, I think of what's his name? So you know who I'm saying. From Walking Dead as well. He was in, the guy that plays
Yep.
Yondu. His place, I don't remember the names at this moment. I know him, but yeah, I never forget those characters. Walking Dead was still a great show.
Now,
But yeah, but
Fember in the chat seems to think that this Xbox Kojima game is going to be a horror one. And he says that considering Xbox got high on life, I imagine the Kojima game will be a really messed up horror game. And it's
it could be.
possible.
It could be. Norman Reedus. That's why. Yeah, Norman. I know
You
now.
looked that up, didn't you?
No, I'm reading. Oh,
You
Palpatine. Palpatine. He said Reedus, and I'm
oh
like Norman Reedus.
oh yep. Thank you,
Yeah,
Palpatine.
yep. Norman Reedus,
See,
and again,
that's why I always tweet out that the chat fuels this show, because most of the time we're just a bunch of dumbasses that can't think of anything on the fly.
it's because we got jobs and we're too tired to remember.
No, it's because we are actually humbled by the people that show up in the chat, and we are a little nervous from time to time.
That's true.
It's like I want to come off saying everything the right way, and have catchy, you know, eh, uh, segues into topics, and then you get that very uncomfortable silence, and my mind is racing and then going,
Yeah.
you look stupid right now. Please say something. Please somebody say something. Please somebody help me. But
Well, the greatest part,
we are humbled by everybody that shows up to listen to us
yeah, the
ramble on.
greatest
Thank
part
you
is
very
that
much.
the chat and the community will grow with us, and we'll just no one's perfect, but them helping us is always great, and as we move
Whatever.
forward, it's even better. So.
Bobby's perfect.
All right. Well, we've talked about Kojima. We got into the horror aspect. I last thing for me, I might be a horror game. I'm not sure. Not a lot of information. I don't know a lot of things about it. I do know it's probably going to be a game changer, which I'm very interested to see.
Yeah, I mean, definitely. He's definitely a very. He's yeah. As I burp right into the mic.
Yeah,
We're
excuse you.
classy here on Game Set Live. Um, yeah, Kojima is just he takes you on a ride, and sometimes you're not ready for that ride. Like I remember at the end of what was it, Metal Gear Solid 5. Was it the last one Kojima was involved in? Chat, help me out here. That game, that the Metal Gear Solid 5, that ending plays directly into the beginning of the Metal Gear Survive game that I like. I like survival simulator games. 7 Days to Die, I love it. Don't play Minecraft unless it's on survival and cranked up. Um, yeah, so Metal Gear Survive, it appealed to me. At the beginning of that game, it literally picks up where that Metal Gear Solid left off. And
All
so
right.
you're playing this game and it's pretty Metal Gearish. It's what you would expect. And then all of a sudden everything just gets twisted and goes off the rails and it's really freaking crazy. And you wind up in this alternate dimension, which is where you play Metal Gear Survive, and that is Kojima. I mean, that wow, the same thing happened with Death Stranding. You start playing this game, and then as you get deeper, it just gets more twisted, and you start seeing what's going on, and then he starts introducing time travel, and it's just crazy.
Just taking you on this long journey. It's yeah. Well,
Yeah, Thember, yeah, I'm with Thember here, 110%. It's got to be a horror game. It's going to be something really twisted. As
yeah.
if Scorn wasn't twisted enough, little penis man walking around, penis fingers.
Yeah. I'm, I don't got much to say on that game, so cool
Oh
game. But
man,
yeah. I would assume, yeah, I'm hearing the same stuff. I just didn't want to say anything. Yeah, I'm pretty sure it's gonna be a horror game. I think it's gonna be Kojima's, next big thing, and that's gonna be cool. And yeah, that's pretty much all we gotta say. Now we're kind of in that just wait. We'll hear more and we hear more.
so what is the segue into the next topic? Let's see if I can pull this off. So I heard a little birdie. He tweeted something about Amazon signing for Tomb Raider. Is this just a load of bull, or what is this? I mean, I thought other than xCloud, I'm sorry. I don't know why we can't call it xCloud, because xCloud was the perfect name. It's cloud gaming. That's what we're calling it now, which
Okay.
is I don't like that. But anyway, xCloud, and I'm going to keep it xCloud. I'm going to call it xCloud.
It should have been that anyway. All right, moving on.
So xCloud is the first and foremost king of cloud gaming. And we've already killed Stadia. And I hear Luna isn't bad, but Luna really needs titles. They need some IPs.
Yep.
And so now Amazon is. When did Amazon get into this fight?
Amazon
Because Stadia
signed.
was Google.
Luna, I think I remember launched around the same time. As Stadia, if I remember correctly. It's been a while. I've seen ads for it all the time, but I've had like no interest. I haven't played it myself. I haven't heard anybody that's played it, so I have nothing to say. But Amazon did sign a deal with Crystal Dynamics. They will be publishing the next Tomb Raider game. That is official. That is.
Well, I can definitely say with much confidence, I will not be playing that game because I don't. Between PC, Xbox, and PlayStation and Switch, I don't have room. That's why xCloud works, is because xCloud is a complementary service to what you already enjoy. If you don't have it downloaded, guess what? You can get that Game Pass achievement. You can get it for the week by just bringing up the gamer card and clicking on the cloud. It's a complimentary
Yeah.
service and it works.
Well, I wouldn't worry about that. This says that they are definitely going to try to bring, this next game, and Amazon Games themselves want to bring, the highest quality from the best developers across all variety of platforms and genres, and they want,
Shout out Gerald Mack in the chat. What's up, player?
Yeah, and they want to do that. So there's nothing I'm not seeing anything that's saying they're going to make it like a big exclusive thing, but it's probably going to definitely be on Luna. And then it's going to be utilizing Unreal Engine 5. The next game will. So, could be good. No idea if it's going to come to the other platforms or it's just Luna exclusive. Not really sure on that right now. But yeah, that's what's happening. It's done. Amazon Games, Crystal Dynamics working on the next Tomb Raider.
Well, I remember, wasn't there a Tomb Raider that was exclusive to Xbox for, was it 1 or 2 years?
I believe it was 1. I think it was
That was a signed deal, and nobody knew until after it had already launched that it was going to ever be on any other platform. So this may be along the same lines, because I'm pretty sure, unless Amazon is footing the bill for development costs, that's the only time I ever see anything completely exclusive to a platform, is when somebody is actually helping pay for the development. And I don't know enough about the deal to say whether that is or is not happening in this case.
Yeah. Right now it just is publishing. And that can mean a lot of different things. A lot of third-party publishers, will partner with these people, make sure it goes on their platform, and then release it with everybody else. Amazon's definitely in the business of making money, so we'll see.
True. And who knows? I mean, it could just be a way on the back end of Amazon getting their name across your screen on your Xbox whenever you launch the game.
Yeah, and that could be it too. That's free advertising right there. Tomb Raider is a pretty big series.
Only if Laura's boobs are the proper size. I don't want any of that crazy 1999 stuff that they were like, she looked abnormal.
Hey man, I mean, well, whatever works. I mean,
I guess, yeah, whatever works.
Whatever
it's
works.
All good in the hood.
I'm just getting a little distracted by your gameplay. But yeah,
I got stuck here.
As Thember was saying, probably gonna be multi-plat. Amazon again in the job to make money. Character-wise, I'm not a big Tomb Raider fan. I don't know a lot about it, so I couldn't really give my personal opinion. I'd have to sit down and really play the games. But I'm just got too many series I'm playing, too many things I'm trying to keep track of. So, I'll add it to my long list.
So I'm not looking at it right now. How does the chat? How does the gameplay look on your end? Because I've started capturing at 1440p. This was captured at 1440p, and I'm still playing around with the bitrate a little bit to try and clean up the 1440p. I think I've almost got it. Yeah, Palpatine said looks good.
It's looking good for the stream, yeah.
Yeah, you can't go by what you see here in the studio because there is a video player limitation in the studio. but what you see on YouTube is the true.
Yeah. Yeah, but for just for something to watch, and it's looking pretty clean. It's looking pretty good, and I mean, looking good on my screen, and everything's running pretty good. Our background's looking good. Looks good, bro. Always looks good.
Yeah, I try. I'm just a little guy, this worm right here. This worm. I must have. I kept on. I was like, I have to get across that sand to that area. I have to do it, and I couldn't get past that worm. I finally just gave up. Said, screw it.
Oh, you'll get through it. Trust me, you got it.
All right, this video is up, so we are going to watch some of this. Yeah.
Oh, all right, Callisto Protocol.
Yeah, but
right.
this is one of my older videos that was at 1080p, so I do apologize.
It's looking pretty. It's actually looking pretty well off. Yeah.
What sign? Thember? Thember said you didn't read this. So what sign are we talking about? There was a sign?
Or you just thought you could have. You didn't read the sign.
The sign that says "warning worm." Yeah. Well, yeah, but I thought I could hop around.
He just thought he was better than the worm. That's just all it is.
I mean, come on. If you've seen my tweet on my year in Xbox, my most played game was Halo Infinite. So of course I'm used to bunny hopping with Master Chief across the battlefield. I thought I could do it across the sand. Apparently not.
I'm still in shock when they calculated GTA 5 as my most played game. I'm still in shock at how that even happened.
You know how it happened, fraud.
It could be that. It also could be that whenever I get online and play with some of my friends, with some of the other guys I know, we'll sit there and we'll do stupid stuff in Grand Theft Auto all day, flying around in Batmobiles and stuff like that. And a lot of my time goes to that sometimes, time flies by when you're having fun. So
yeah, this is true. I just could never get into it outside of playing the story that took you in 3 different directions.
Well, this is after grinding for like 2 years and then just realizing, what have I done with my life?
Yeah, to put it bluntly, yeah.
Yeah, then roughly realizing, there's an outside world out there. What am I doing?
Segue into the next topic. I did want to bring this up because I was not aware of this. I mean, I seen it, and I seen the game. I like the game. I think everybody likes the game. Everybody is excited for Atomic Heart.
Yes.
And now I'm seeing on my Xbox, when I turn my Xbox on, Atomic Heart is launching in Game Pass. Has it always been that way, or is this another great addition, another great launch edition that is happening in Game Pass that has just recently come about?
See, that's the thing. I'm not sure. I thought it was already, but I guess it was. It might have not been. I don't. I thought that it always was because Xbox put it out there and a lot of people were hyped for it.
Well, so Palpatine is saying in the chat that yes, it has always been coming to Game Pass, and apparently Bob just doesn't pay attention to the facts. Which I mean, that happens. It happens a lot, actually. You would be surprised.
That's what I thought. And then Thimber needs it like yesterday, so don't worry, Thimber. We're almost there.
Yes, we are, and we've got plenty of time to do it because the game I'm looking forward to, actually both games that I'm looking forward to, Hogwarts Legacy and Dead Island 2 have been pushed to spring, so we will have time to play Atomic Heart. Yes.
Well, don't worry. When Dead Island 2 comes out in 2026, it'll be a lot of fun. But until then, we got other things to play.
Like more Halo.
Yeah, we got more. We got more Halo. We could bring up the people were talking about that DLC again going on with Halo.
The
Uh,
winter event, or
well, we
is
got.
that what we're
We're gonna
talking
talk about
about?
the winter event, and then some people brought up Halo: The Endless again. Hidden Xperia, some of those YouTubers out there brought it up again, and they're just like, well, they were talking about it like, the multiplayer is fun, and giving the focus on that, but a lot of the fans, are big into the campaign, and how with
Right.
the next big movement, we need more campaign. You know, we need more campaign stuff because I agree with them. Like, I think the majority of the Halo community are just like big campaign fans, and that's all they're really into. You know,
Palpatine is afraid he's not good enough for Atomic Heart.
you are, you are good.
Palpatine, that is the way I feel every time I start up any one of the Stalker games. Every time I start playing Stalker, I'm like, I think to myself, I'm not good enough to play this game. I'm really not, because this is not my typical run and gun shooter. This, you have to think in Stalker. I feel you. Yep, totally.
Well, hoping we can get Stalker next year. Fingers crossed we can get the next Stalker game, and really hoping. I was excited for that project, really excited, and I was, still saddened that we'd have to wait a little longer.
Yeah, and the draw of Stalker is really, I mean, because everybody, Chernobyl is one of those places that I'm not sure anybody still knows what's going on at Ground Zero.
Yeah.
And Stalker expands on that. It's one of the few games out there that take a real world situation and expand upon that. And I just wish the Stalker game had went farther into the, like, the sarcophagus and the elephant foot and all the things that we know, because then it would almost be like an expanded story slash shooter with some real world, um, almost like a Chernobyl sim.
Oh,
I
I
thought
see what
that would
you're
have
saying.
been really cool. Yeah,
Yeah.
like you can do this, but if you go over there and explore Chernobyl and go through all the buildings that radiation is peeling the paint off of and everything. Yeah,
Oh
this
yeah,
or that.
that would have been cool. I mean, we'll see what happens. Probably, not that that entirely, but Chernobyl's a really, I mean, that was what the biggest nuclear disaster in the world, and then having that connected with this game and going into all the details and the horrors, that actually would have been so cool if they had
Yeah.
done that. But we'll see. We don't know too much. We've seen as much as they can show, and those devs are hard at work right now. Even with everything that was going on, and just
It's still
getting
going on.
that's still going on. Luckily, a lot of those devs got out safe, and they're in different countries, and they're doing well, and that's good. That was great to hear. Um,
Yep.
and so now they're back working, and it's all good. So,
Another
it's
game that
good.
Atomic Heart really I know, I'm sorry, I'm just hopping back and forth between games here.
All good.
Another game that Atomic Heart really reminds me of, and I don't know why, is, oh shoot, I can't even remember the name of it now. What's that game where everybody is under the delusion they have to take that pill every day, and they're under
Oh,
the pill is joy. They have to take their joy, and they're sitting around a table, and the ones that are being affected by the joy, it turns out they're actually eating worms and rats and everything.
uh, what
Oh,
was
we
it was that
lucky few, is it
we
we
happy
lucky
few,
few,
we happy few.
we happy few. Yes, that when I started playing We Happy Few, I did actually think, um, I'm not a good enough gamer to play this game, because this game requires thought. And when I get a first person view and it's a shooter, I just want to run and gun and be crazy.
Well, that's why I told you that although it's not first person, Gears is the game for you.
Oh, I love Gears.
Gears.
I'm that. Okay. True story. I am that guy where I'll be back here in the study, and the wife will come back, and she'll be like, "Really? You're playing horde mode all by yourself again?" And I'm like, "Yeah, I love playing horde mode all by myself. I want to see how high I can get." And
Yeah,
for like
horde mode's
2
fun.
months, I played horde all by myself on Gears 5, and I loved every minute of it. That I'm that guy that I will take a team-based game mode and purposely launch a private lobby and not invite anybody because I don't want anybody to screw up my strategy.
Oh, you know exactly what you're doing. You know,
Exactly.
yours is so fun. Love that. Love that game. Love
Yeah.
those. I love that series. 5 was fun. I was like deep into 4. Um, love it. I can't wait for the next one if we get it in the next few years.
Yeah.
Um,
Let's just pretend like Judgment never happened.
yeah.
Don't take a team-based game and make it competitive with the people playing in the team. Like, "Oh, I got more points than you did on that level." Well, I don't care. We still
Yeah,
beat the level.
that's the
That's what
whole
it's
point.
about.
Yeah, yeah. Um, but yeah, great series, fun. I think that's the more shooter for you. I like those games that have
Totally.
thought, but when I was on Scorn, like I like a different game like that requires a lot of thought. I got stuck in the same room for 3 hours, and
Yep.
before I threw my controller out the window and hit the nice people across the street, I
No, you
decided, you
did
know
not.
what? I decided, no, I didn't, but I was tempted, because I was getting so angry. But luckily, I got my 3 other controllers, so I would have been okay. Um, and and it was just so aggravating. Now that's it, and I figured it out. Thank God for YouTube, but yeah, some games like that that require thought, I can't figure out. Like Scorn, I was having a lot of trouble, but a game like Resident Evil, which required thought, I could get like without any trouble. So it depends.
Shout out to Thimber in the chat. There's a heads up, folks. 3 Fallout games are free in the Epic Store right now.
I may go grab those.
Yep. Get on
I
it now.
I may do that later. We got those big sales going on right now. A lot of games are really cheap
Yes.
right now. You got to grab
Like
that while you can.
60% off.
Some I've seen up to 80. Gonna wait till with all the Christmas spending and all that, I'm gonna have to wait a minute or two just to go spend some money on myself. But I will soon. I'll go grab some more games and
So,
make that backlog look even worse.
on to our next topic. And I was going to run through the panel. And so right now, Ultimus, you are the panel.
I am the Senate.
You are the panel. What month or what season do you believe Bethesda will actually release Starfield? Is it going to be a holiday game? Are we really looking at a game that was
See?
delayed a few months? Because it was supposed to be a holiday release
Yeah.
this year.
Yeah.
And then it got delayed to winter.
Yep.
And now we're
And then
hearing that there's work being done on it. It's being polished and everything. Could we be looking at an unforetold year delay on Starfield?
that's really actually worrying me. We did see on some Game Pass marketing a little while ago that they were saying spring. We haven't seen that since. But I'm hoping and praying because I really want to play Starfield that they could probably get it to us hopefully by the summer. And then either Redfield before or after. I'm hoping. But I think the fans right now are in that we really want Starfield. Come on, don't do that to us. So a year may not be the best choice for them. I think at most summer or spring might be a good idea. Me myself, I really want to play it. That game looks so fun, and I love Bethesda games. So I'm ready when they are.
Hey, that Oriental chick on screen right now, she's got nice hooters. I'm just gonna throw it out there. I'm sorry.
I
I like
I
I like doing that. Just throwing in the random, you know.
no. I'm trying to make sure that everyone sees that when you get canceled and I have to take over, that I wasn't involved. I'm teasing. But moving forward, what was I saying? I completely lost my train of thought.
Are the what? I'm sorry.
Yeah. Starfield. Yeah. Anyway,
I didn't
uh,
really think our viewership was high enough for me to get noticed. So I'm going to say
no,
whatever the hell I
no,
want
not
to
yet.
say.
When we hit at least 30 people that watch it, then maybe
Oh
we gotta
yeah.
watch it. But until then, we'll
I
be
don't.
okay. We'll be fine. You know
I
what I
don't
mean?
know, man. I mean, we did actually. I got hit up in the chat by somebody that was trying to offer me a bot service. So hey, it's not exactly the porn spam that the larger channels get, but it's something. I got offered bot service. Yeah, right on. Woohoo!
Yep.
Where were you at when I threw in the booby comment? I'm sorry. I must have. I
And
just ruined your train of thought.
no, yeah, I got it. And it was just the train just was on the tracks and then it fell over and got destroyed like an avatar. Um. Anyway, going back to it,
Now,
yeah,
see,
Starfield.
usually we're all responsible for that, and Fabio is the one that
And
always brings us back.
And yeah,
Yeah.
I don't have Fabio right now. I don't have we don't have our lightning rod, nah, and it's hard right now, but it'll be all right. Anyway, moving back, Starfield wise again, I think what they need to prioritize personally, and I'm hoping they do, is get it out by spring. Make it a big release. I know Todd Howard's feeling the pressure, but I trust that they'll just give us their Bethesda style experience, and it'll all be good.
Is it
And
going to
that's
be a Fallout 76 Bethesda style experience?
well, we both know we've talked about it. It's not the same. Fallout 76 was not the main team, never was, and
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 Fallout
this is
76 was pushed by a management group that knew they were selling the studio, knew they
yeah,
were planning on putting it on the market. So it
it
was a
was just a
push.
cash grab. We all know it, and that and now it's under Microsoft. Todd's not being pressured into anything. He's got his team working hard. Because in the end, when Todd Howard and his team aren't stressed out and they don't have any pressure and all that, they do some great work. Um, and they have. And so right now, I'm just confident that they're going to polish it, and I'm hoping that they don't give it another year. I think fans are going to be a little impatient, especially because we've had delays like Halo, where we've had to wait an entire other year, and it's just kind of slugging along until we finally hit that game. And if they need the time, then let them have the time. But if they don't need the time and they're good to go, then I'm hoping again spring or summer we'll get that great game and we'll play it. But whatever the devs need should always be the priority. As I always say, devs, need to do their best, need all their support they need to do their best work and get their ideas out there and looking great.
And if they fumble too much with Starfield, all you have to do is fire Todd Howard, and everything will be fixed the very next week.
Oh, come on.
Okay. Let's be honest.
All right, go ahead.
Let's the elephant in the room. Halo Infinite problems. We're not getting co-op. We're not getting Forge. All of a sudden, you cut the head off the snake, and it's like a few weeks later, we've got co-op, we've got a Forge beta, things are happening, things are moving.
I will say this about Infinite. I wasn't a fan of Bonnie after the past few years. I've made that public. I've said that in multiple spaces that she hasn't had my support in over 5 years.
Wow.
And she hasn't had my support in
God,
about
why
five
don't you
years.
tell us exactly how you feel about Bonnie Ross? Damn.
Yeah, okay. I had respect for her as a fan, but with some of her leadership decisions and all that, I'm still not happy. Um, everyone loves Halo now. Yeah, that's right, Timber. Um,
It- hey, I got I my achievements are up on Halo Infinite because I was able to play co-op. Me, my brother-in-law, and my wife went through that mofo on Legendary, and we beat the shite out of it. And it was
great.
amazing. It was a blast. It reminded me of those Halo days of old. And God, co-op, it makes or breaks Halo. It really does.
It truly does. You know, how I discovered Halo, I'll get into that and then I'll go back to Bonnie Ross, was Halo 4. It was 2016, and we were playing it on my cousin's Xbox 360. We were playing campaign co-op. So I discovered Halo on Halo 4, and we were just we were dying and all this stuff, but we were having so much fun. Just, you know, we were getting attacked by grunts, and we had the elites coming at our face, and that there's just no experience like that. Just playing with your buds on the couch with your family, your buds, and couch co-op, and playing Halo, and having all this fun stuff going on, and there is no experience like it.
And then you
Um,
get into the legendary rut where one person hangs back as a respawn point and everybody else runs in and just keeps dying over
no,
and over and over
unless
and
it's
over.
Halo 2, and then you just have no chance because everybody's dying anyway,
Yes,
and then it
this is
takes you
true.
back constantly every single time.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I
it
remember that because in Halo 2, it didn't matter how far back your respawn player went. Whenever everybody else that went ahead of them died, the enemies came after the respawn player, and you just had to go further back, and it was crazy.
yeah, that was just, that was a hard campaign to go through,
Ooh,
trust me, that was hard. I did it.
my my
I did it, but
service
it was hard.
is having some issues right now. My video is buffering, and this is being played off a cloud storage. This is not local.
Alright, well, yeah, everything's looking good on our end, as I can report right now. Everything's running pretty well, so should balance out in a minute. Um,
Uh,
but
it
anyway, back to
could be the snowstorm outside and the
it could
30-mile-an-hour gusts.
Yeah, so, well, we should be good. You're sounding good. I'm not seeing any issues on our end.
No,
Uh,
I'm feeling
anyway,
good.
back to that. So anyway, with Bonnie Ross, uh, haven't really been happy with her in a long time. As I just said, I was very okay. I gotta word this. I gotta word this in the right way, or it's gonna come off wrong. I was sorry to hear that problems were happening with her family. That was sad. But was I saddened that she was leaving as head of 343? No, I was not. I was not unhappy, and I'm glad who they put in as new head. Uh, I I don't know him that well. I haven't heard his name that much, but he worked on MCC. He fixed MCC as a leader, and now he's running. And now he's running 343 on Halo Infinite. And from what I'm seeing, what they've been all the changes they've been making, is doing a great job. He's doing a great job. A lot of changes we're seeing in Halo have been very positive. The game actually feels so much more fun now. Forge has been killing it with all these new maps. I'm seeing new maps almost every week that are just like blowing me away. I'm like, that's Halo, Um,
Oh yeah.
so I'm definitely glad to see that. I think Halo is in the right hands, and Joseph Staten is head of writing and design and creativity and all that stuff going on, and he's working on all that with them. And Halo is definitely on the right path again. So was glad to hear that.
And
But
the endless, I do believe the endless was a planned DLC to introduce the flood because we all love the flood in Halo games. That's
oh
why
yeah,
we've had the flood in almost all the Halo games because
until
it it turns up it cranks up the suspense.
Yeah, every time we say the flood, I flash back to the first time I played the original Halo. I didn't know what the flood was. I actually had anxiety and fear when we were in that mission where they introduced it to you in the first Halo CE, And then when I see them, I'm like, I was thinking back in my mind. I've told the story a couple of times. Wait, what's more powerful than the Covenant? What's going on? And then you see them and just how kind of scary they are, even for Halo CE graphics. It's just they're just such a fun and they're just such a cool enemy in general. And I love fighting against the Flood, and I can't wait if they do bring them back, which I think they've already alluded to it, in the beginning of the game. That would be so fun. I would be so excited. I also want to understand what's going on with offensive bias. The AI that saved everybody, and there's just so many cool things going on in that game. I just want to see it. I want to get to that point. I want to continue the story. With the Endless.
Number in the chat says that it's funny when we think about issues, we think automatically Halo. And
no. Let's correct ourselves real quick. When we think about problems or we think about issues, we think about 343. Let's just be honest. Yeah. Let's just be honest. It's not even Halo itself. It's 343. But this new head, is doing a good job. So good.
If you think about Halo Infinite, you think about a game that launched and it was playable. It wasn't a Cyberpunk. It wasn't a Witcher 3. It just didn't have all the options that we were accustomed to.
It didn't have everything, and I actually posted this a little bit ago. I gave a little checklist on what the next Halo needs to be great. Not even counting the Endless. We need some biodiversity. We need the same fun gameplay. We definitely need Forge. Forge has to be their launch. We need stuff like that. But Halo, it did launch playable. It was fun. It wasn't Cyberpunk. So I can at least say that they didn't get that game. That game did get out stable. But let's circle back into Starfield. Todd Howard. Some people don't. Some people don't like his leadership. Under Todd, I think he's done a good job, at least better than Bonnie. Fallout 3, one of my favorites. Fallout 4, one of my favorites. If they were to give Starfield looks really sick. If they were to give Fallout over to Obsidian, I'd be okay with that. I'd be really okay with that. Mm-hmm. Witcher 3 was a disaster launch. You ever notice that about any CD Projekt Red game? It starts a disaster and then it ends just so great. It ends on an amazing note.
Yeah. Like Cyberpunk 2077 is great now.
It is so fun. I think they added like a new police system in, so that way they chase you and all the stuff we kind of wanted at the beginning. And it's just they didn't let this game die. They just kept fixing it. And they did the same thing with Witcher 3, and now they're both, I think, going to be cult classics, which is great.
All right.
Yeah, we're going to ramble on a little bit.
I think that draws us to the end of this show. I mean,
there's not a lot to talk about our friends here, so
we managed to get an hour and 10 minutes with just a host and a panelist. I mean, shout out to Rand Althor for the Xbox 2 podcast, showing us how it's done. That's right. Shout out to Rand. But anyway, yeah. Palpatine, looking forward to Phantom Liberty.
Phantom Liberty looks like it's going to be so fun. That looks so cool.
Witcher 3 finally optimized. It was awesome. Yep.
I'm hearing some bad things on PC, great things on console, so we'll find out about that.
But yeah, we're going to head out here and do some outros and short show tonight. Sorry, but panel is a little thin tonight for health reasons on one end. Somebody leaving the podcast in the middle, and on the other end, somebody having family in to celebrate their great accomplishment. So
a lot of people got a lot of things going on. And I was, glad to be here, just with the KY, just the two OGs. Can't wait to have more of our guys back and have Fabio to add a little life to this conversation as well. He was He's kind of the
Yeah.
glue. He's kind of the glue that holds it together. He has a lot
I
more
miss
life.
I mean, I every time, I mean, I'm used to me saying something stupid and Fabio going, "Oh, Jesus Christ."
Fabio, yeah, Fabio can definitely add your humor. Me, I'm just a little too analytic, I think. I think I'm just that's just me.
That's good, man. I mean, that's what I got you here for. I like analytic.
But yeah, but you need a little funny too, so
Well, yeah, you're analytic and serious, and I talk about the way some
you
bodily
talk
features look on characters and gameplay footage.
well,
Yeah.
well, we've talked about Halo 4 a lot and we've had other conversations along those lines. So you know what? It's not the first time. It probably won't be the last.
So, Mr. Ultimus Gaming, where can you be found at, sir?
Right now, I am still, as always, on Twitter at Ultimus Gaming. Can always find me. I've been posting as much as I can when there's news. If there's not, you might hear an update about, I don't know, I might have slept last night. That might be all you really hear. Not that much news going on. It's been, other than what we talked about, it's still kind of slow week. We got holidays, everyone's off, so it's all good.
This is KY Bob, your host, and I want to wish everybody a Merry Christmas, a Happy Holidays. Enjoy your family, and realize that they are your most important parts of your life.
Family first, always.
You can catch me Twitter, Xbox, Steam, PlayStation, everywhere. It's the same. KY Bob. Sometimes I have to use a 0 as an O because somebody else out there thinks they're KY Bob, but no, I am the OG. Everybody have a good weekend. We will see you here next week, hopefully with a
bigger panel.
An expanded panel, maybe even a new member. Got some things in the works. It's going to be exciting. So I hope to see everybody next week. And happy holidays, everybody.
Everybody,
Good
Merry
night.
Christmas and happy holidays.